Gonna do something I usually don't do. I always make my videos on my tripods and stands. Quit barking, Marshall. But I'm gonna just spend some time cleaning my car and watching my dog try to be annoying for the video. I washed the car. I think I'm just if my car is not washed, I'm not happy. And it sucks because you can wash it one day and then the same day it can just be trash. All that time, it just takes so much time to wash and clean it. And then I put a coating of the newest turtle wax ice, the ceramic hybrid stuff, and it works really, really well. But it's just so time consuming. And then it just gets, I keep mine, fortunately I have mine in a garage. But you got to get out and drive, and this is my only car. So it just, you take it out and it's spick and span, and it's even a pretty day like today. It's been wet and miserable for 5 or 6 days. Awful, horrible. I hate it. It's miserable. So it's sunny today. And a real busy road, so there's going to be lots of noise. But I'm going to just turn around and talk about some of the things I've done to the car and go from there. So let me switch okay, I got my hose. Got to have a home. I've lived in apartments for so long when I was younger, and I had a hard time keeping my cars clean. But now, actually, I have a home, so I can keep it in a garage. Lots of shit now collecting in here, but I definitely will always have my garage where I can park my car or cars or motorcycles. So I was just going to touch base, got to clean it, I'm going to have to dry it, and I always air dry my car. I've got my shop vac, and I've had that, let me get it where it's going to be able to see it. I've had that Craftsman shop vac for 20 plus years, and it's still going really, really strong. Now it's probably going to break because I said that, but I had that for like 22 years. So, and I reverse it and put it out here on the exhaust and with a nozzle and air dry my car so that I'm not wiping on it a whole bunch, and that helps preserve it. And cool thing, I was near a car detail shop, and the guy was handing out cards to cool cars in the area and trying to strum up business. And he came up to my car. He goes, "Man, you don't need a cleaner. I'm just going to give you a card anyways, just because if you know somebody, your car looks spectacular." He goes, "Man, and I know how much work goes into that." And I was like, "Man, I really appreciate that." So that was really, really cool. A little experience. I was like, "Yeah, man, I clean my car all the time, and if it's not clean, I'm not happy." So he's like, "Yeah, man, you did a fantastic job." But so that was cool. But with that said, the brake rotors. The brake rotors are holding up well. The inside, there is no rust whatsoever. But on the portion of the disc, the holes and the slots there, they definitely have filled with rust, and the brakes just don't look nearly as pretty as you see on some cars where it doesn't get like that. So the coating and this cool coating is not in there inside the holes, and so it's definitely rusting. And I'm keep my car inside a lot, but it does get driven in the rain. So there's that. What else? Let's see. Yeah, and I'm gonna air dry it. Oh yeah, and I went today to get my tune modified. I have the AMS Bluetooth module. I went and bought that separately about 2 weeks ago, and finally got an appointment to go in there and for them to set up launch control and to do my map switching. And it took a couple hours because they had to reconfigure a whole bunch of stuff and make sure everything was running right, and then test it. And so everything works really, really well. Seth took me out to show me how it worked on the street in front of Jotech Motorsports, and just put the brake boost on, put the pedal to the floor, and said just run it up, just floor it to 2,500 RPM, and then just immediately get off the brake. And I mean, it just took off, and it was the high boost map. And usually, I mean, the tires would just light up and it wouldn't go anywhere, but it just took off and accelerated with just a couple of wheel chirps and put the power down to the ground. So really, really stoked about that. That's really, really cool. And then the map switching from high to low boost with this high boost map is just, I mean, you get into 10%, 12%, 15% throttle, and it's just really wanting to put the power down. So it's, I guess if you get used to it, I mean, just, a car comes in front of you and you're going to stomp on the gas to get around them, but you're not necessarily wanting just to go full boost. The high torque, high horsepower map just automatically, it's just high strung, just goes straight into full boost. And then it's just a whole different animal on that. So I'm going to run the high boost map for a while, and maybe the car will adjust and get used to it. But yeah, so I just need to dry it, get it a little bit more wet so that I can not get water spots. Lots of traffic. This is a very highly traveled road right out there. But yeah, love the car. Trying to think what else. And it really was, I was really pumped today with the results with, and of course the map switching is, going to be map switching, and it does what it does. But the launch control, man, I think it's going to be a big game changer for me, because I just was having such problems putting the power down. And you're just having to, obviously you can not push the pedal as far. Idiot can do that, and a car person can modulate the gas pedal so that you're not getting wheel spin. But the reason for that is, I mean, you can just barely push the pedal down in first and second gear, and so you're just getting walked away from by whoever you're on a run or street race, just out of the blue from light to light. So yeah, that's gonna be really, really cool. And I can't remember what else I was going to talk about. All right. Also, I forgot to add, in my garage now is a real bright light. I would always like to do, get out of the light, some more racing footage and stuff. It's just, I live in Dallas, and it's really, really, really crowded. There's just the car, and I know people are going to look at that have really fast cars, and just, with me saying it's so fast that, I mean, you just step on it for just a second or two, and you're doing 90 miles an hour. And it's just so fast, and there's just so much traffic in the area, and it's really hard. And I'm going to be 50 here in about 6 months. It's just a lot on the line. Gosh, I look like shit. A lot on the line, racing the car and getting tickets and being pulled over and possibly be taken to jail or have your car impounded. So there's a lot on the line. Not with just money, but your life is on the line, and not just because you can have a crash, but legal issues. I'm always just kind of playing around. It's just the traffic is so heavy, and they're coming up on somebody to race. I don't know where I'm looking at. To come up with a race, and you look over, and you're never in a good spot. And there's nowhere to get on it, and it's so much traffic, as I keep repeating. There's just no way I can physically find places to go unless I go out on a Saturday night at 3 in the morning and go to the drag racing places, which I don't even know where those are anymore, and go hunt people down. That would be a way. But I mean, I have a life outside of the car and a job, and I'm working a lot at home in the evening time. But I want to do more racing. So hopefully I can have my camera with me in my car, and then I can get some footage, because it'll be really fun to race some stock GTs, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Mustang GT and some 392, some Camaros, with a V8. Not the 5.7 liter for the 392 Scat Pack, but the Scat Pack with the not the 5.7, but the 392. Definitely get some races and have some fun and post some of that footage, because that'll be really fun. So other than that, I'm going to end the video, and I'm sorry if it went too long. Okay, thanks. Have a good day.